Rock and rollers, what's up? It's Pete Thorn. Hey, today we're going to take a look at another Synergy module. This one is the Pittbull from Fryette. I remember trying a Pittbull back in the day. It was a Pittbull 50CL model, and I was in a modern rock band. It's not modern rock anymore because this was like almost 20 years ago. But man, what a great sounding amp. I remember trying it in a Guitar Center, and I came this close to getting one, and then I didn't get it for whatever reason. But it sounded really great. It had this really tight, aggressive, tight and really tunable via the post-distortion graphic EQ. It's got a 6-band graphic EQ. Now this guy copies that right here. You can see you've got the 6-band graphic on there, and it really reminded me of that amp right when I plugged it in and tried it out. I put everything on 5 and turned it up, and it was like, oh yeah, there's that sound. At lower gain, it kind of almost reminds me of high watt. It's just tough and punchy, not unlike the other Fryette module I tried recently, Synergy module, which was the Deliverance. But then as the gain increases on this one, it's like almost like less raw and a little smoother and saturated, still really deep and super punchy, but it's got a little less of that raw vintage thing, and it's just a little bit more of that modern saturated thing. How do you describe guitar tone? But I'm doing the best I can. So looking at the controls here, you've got 2 channels, you got gains and volumes for each channel, and then you got a shared EQ with bass, mids, treble, and presence. Then you've got the graphic that comes into play, and you can have the graphic either in or out, or have it only come on the second channel. So that changes things completely, because if you really want to switch up the tone, maybe say have the channel 1 dialed in for a real vintage, kind of like I say, like a high watt, edge of breakup kind of thing, punchy, and full through the mids, you can do that and then switch over to channel 2 and hit that EQ and scoop it out and have a radically different tone. Okay, there's also these shift switches. The shift switches seem to add a little bit of volume and also kind of fill things out through the mids and maybe warm things up a little bit. So for the main part in the song, the dirty rhythm part that I played on a baritone guitar, I used the EQ to scoop out the mids just a little bit, and also used the shift switch in the lower position in order to scoop out the mids a little bit there as well. And I got a really tough, dry, super tight tone that sounded great to me. And you'll notice that it stays out of the way of the lead guitar nicely. Okay, for the lead guitar, I was on the channel 2 and had the shift switch on the up position. That fills out the mids, and I also boosted up the mid-range just a little bit using the graphic EQ. So I was really able to get a much different tone for the lead guitar, and the dirty rhythm guitars and really provide some contrast there. Then you heard the clean, kind of wobbly guitar part in the middle of the song when it breaks down. For that I used channel 1, and once again I had the shift switch in the down position to kind of scoop the tone out a little bit. And then a little strat kind of lead part comes in that's just semi-overdriven, and I used channel 1 for that and had the shift switch in the up position to give it a little bit fuller sound through the mids. Okay, last thing, there's a gain switch on each channel that lets you switch between a high and low gain setting, and it's just kind of like a gain range switch really. So what I want to do now is solo those parts from the track at the beginning of the video outside of the mix. You can clearly hear those, and I'm also going to give you some more playing examples. Basically run you through a whole bunch of tones all the way from clean to super saturated. Alright, here we go. It's the Pittbull module from Synergy. Okay, so let's check out some sounds all the way from channel 1 with the gain kind of low gain sounds all the way through to high gain on channel 2. Right now I've got the gain down at around 9 or 930 on channel 1, and I got the shift switch in the down position. And for this I'm going to keep the tone controls almost set flat, pretty much neutral. Okay, so it's almost like a dirty clean at this setting. I'm using the position 2 on my Strat here. A tough, sparkly, dirty clean. And as you bring that gain up, because the gain on channel 1 is on about 9 o'clock right now, so it's pretty low. As I bring it up to like 10 o'clock, I'm already going to start to get some dirt. Okay, and keep in mind it's a Strat with single coils, so, you know, it's a pretty grindy module, really, but it's a great sound. It's a tough, dirty sound, still with a lot of clarity and sparkle. Okay, now I just hit the shift switch to the up position, and this is going to bring up the volume and also kind of fill out through the mids and actually warm things up a bit. Okay, so that shift switch really brings out the mids, and it does that on both channels. So on channel 2, you're going to notice that as well. For the more scoop sounds, you can have it set in the lower position, and then if you want to get fuller, richer, thicker through the mids kind of tones for lead guitar parts, it's really easy to do just by hitting that switch up. Thanks for watching my video on the Synergy at Fryette Pittbull module for the Synergy preamp system. Lots and lots of fun. Really reminded me of that amp that I played in Guitar Center so many years ago. It's got a great tone. You can fill it out through the mids, make it a little bit more vintage, or you can definitely scoop it out and make it real dry and tough and tight sounding. It's got a great sound for everything from edgy rock and roll through to modern shred, meltdown, mayhem, down-tuned, vicious, throaty, downright scary tone. You can check it out further at the website down there in the video description below. Click there, hit that link, and it'll take you to all the info that you could ever possibly want to know about the Synergy preamp system and specifically about the Pittbull module. Please hit subscribe, hit the little bell beside the subscribe, and you will get an alert every time I put out a new video. I'll see you real soon for more videos. I'm Pete Thorn. Take care. Over and out.